So, yes, this is the higher self.
Thank you. What is her mission? What is her life purpose?
She is, as you said, an antenna, and she has direct access to the light. During her Kundalini awakening, she was given a glimpse of where she's getting her energy from, and it is from the source of all creation. And she is able to infuse her surroundings with the light codes and energy that rearrange DNA and also lift up any shadows that are hidden so that they can be purified by the light and the earth can ascend into the higher dimensions.
How far has that process gone? I mean,
It's about to pop into this other reality that is going to be quite interesting for everyone. There will be strong connections to the souls, entities, and beings that want to speak to you and everyone, because the earth is finished with its journey into darkness. And since that is complete and all the data is in the Akashic records, it is okay now to finish the process with the energies that have come from the central sun, the energy, the source that she was taken to reestablish her connection so that she, with her presence, can lift up the earth.
okay.
She wants to take everyone into the new earth and has a hard time letting people go. She wants to make sure everybody makes it.
Yeah, so what is her role in the Ascension then?
She will be brought to people who are carrying darkness so that the darkness can be exposed by her presence of the light. She is not to judge this. She has not been sent to be the judge of earth or of the souls. It is all an illusion anyways.
Okay.
She just needs to allow for others to be uplifted by her energy, which causes the truth to automatically come out of everyone she is around. Sooner or later, events will happen that will bring out these shadows, and she must only allow the process to happen. The next time it happens, she really should just stand there and say nothing and just allow the light codes to infuse the other. She may feel she needs to say things, which she should definitely say, but without so much drama in the words. These words will help the other person in their time of silence and in their dreams to fully integrate the light codes and erase the shadow so that it isn't transmitted into any other. And for the shadow seeks to expand itself, but since it is darkness, it cannot survive in the presence of the light.
What are these codes?
Because her Kundalini is awakened, she has a direct access to the higher dimensions and can bring down information which is stored in light.
Okay.
Her heart is projecting these light codes to those around, and they also go through her eyes. When you look at her eyes, it reaches into the soul, and you can feel that there is some change happening. It's just the rearranging of the DNA and of the clearing of the soul.
Okay. Her question was about her eyesight. Why is it blurred sometimes?
At all costs wanted to prevent her from seeing so much of the physical and the spiritual because it was so negative. But the darkness is attracted because it wishes to ascend as well.
Yeah, I mean, it is her role that she has to attract the darkness so that then the darkness can be transmuted.
Exactly.
Because of the codes that are transmitted from her heart.
Exactly.
Okay, so it's part of her mission.
Yes, wherever she goes, it doesn't really matter. She can pick where she wants to go. But wherever she goes, she will be transmitting these light codes, and she will be attracting the darkness to herself in order for it to be sent into the light.
Okay.
Just by her presence, she is sending it to the light.
Yeah. She had this question about why she gets this kind of people, like they come to her and what they talk about is the truth. So she was wondering what she was supposed to do about it.
She was only to emit her presence. She did everything that she needed to do already. This is why she's feeling like she doesn't really have anything to do any longer as far as helping, because they must help themselves to ascend, and their shadow was made clear to them, and that's the whole point. You can't fix what you can't see.
Okay.
Her path is just to be able to emit the codes.
Okay.
That's all.
And it
send
happens?
it to the light.
Okay.
It happens automatically. There isn't really anything she must do. I mean, we've told her presence many times. It's just your presence.
Okay. So that is about her life purpose, and she wanted to know who are all helping her.
She will be able to see everything and see us in our full glory, which may be too much for her since she wasn't really able to develop correctly by seeing from a young age because her vision was blocked. Her chakras were being manipulated to prevent any sight to fully develop. But now, with a little bit of practice, she'll be able to fully awaken her spiritual sight.
Okay, yeah, that was one question that she wanted to have a direct connection to all of those who were helping her. so she will be able to connect directly to her higher self.
Yes.
And with the ability of clairvoyance, she will be able to see you all.
Yes, we will help her to clear her vision so that she can see it with time that needs to be added, just so she doesn't freak out completely.
Okay, so it is going to be that opening of this psychic abilities is going to be a little bit slower, so that she gets
this
adjusted.
Is what we're recommending, but because she has cut all ties to her guides and ancestors and everybody, because she felt like there was too much pressure on her, she wanted some time to heal before she continues. But we suggest that she reestablish the connections with her higher self that can't be severed. Even though she tried, she can't, because we're the same, and she can't disconnect herself from anyone, because she is light and we're all light and we're all connected. She was able to sever the ties between her ancestors and the karma of the ancestors. Which is fine. She doesn't have to do anybody else's agenda, although they would really like to clear their karma. By forgiving everything, she was able to successfully end that. It takes the light of a pure heart to be able to send such negative energy directly to the light without condemnation. Because when the normal person looks at negative things, they're overcome by anger and revenge. And it then just fuels the negativity. But when the rare, pure hearts of the earth, the volunteers, they have remained pure enough to be able to send the negativity to the light so that it can be cleared from the records in the earth at the moment, and we can learn. They're stored. They can't be really erased. They're stored in the Akashic record, but they can be cleared from the earth so that the manifestations of the earth plane are more of an energetic lightness than of the heaviness. She will have to make sure she keeps her aura clear and infused with golden and white lights, so that only the entities of the highest order may reach and contact her during this delicate time in preparation for everything that is to come. She will expose darkness, and she will be able to clear a lot of negative karma from the earth. And she will eventually ascend in the physical, causing many manifestations that will cause events in her life to be dramatic. But part of her really wants this anyways, so she will be able to handle it because it's part of her mission.
Okay. Okay. What makes the attachments come or attach to people? What is that what attracts attachments?
The attachments are attracted to the humans because of their own manifested power. It just depends on what you like to entertain in your mind. This is part of the reason why she doesn't want to be exposed to the darkness, but it doesn't affect her in the same way as it does with others. Because she's aware and they are not. And when others think, they usually think of all their problems and all their curses and all of the things that are going wrong and bad. They don't have enough energy infused into the good things. And it is like asking for a bunch of entities to come and invade your life so that you can keep manifesting everything as you have programmed it to. It's just all part of the same thing. You create it, you attract it, you allow it, and that's how it happens. As soon as a person starts to ascend, they can let go, allow the letting go of these entities. They just either get infused with light and become light, or they leave and find another one to infuse them with negative energy such as fear, hate, jealousy, any darkness that is already part of their karmic attachments. If you don't want to be stuck with negative entities, all you have to do is stay positive. They don't like positive energy because they don't feed off positive energy. They feed off negative energy, and most of them don't even belong to the earth. There were holes that were created which allowed a lot of these entities to enter the earth environment as you know it, and they scavenge the earth for negativity and feed off of it. But their time is pretty much over, and the volunteers, which you are one to, will be able to release these negative attachments, and everyone will be cleared soon of these attachments, and they will be sent back to where they came from. The holes will be sealed and healed, and the earth will ascend.
How do this ETs or who are creating this kind of attachments or souls which are being recycled and sent back to the earth?
It's just a form of control. It's all about control and the negative paradigm. But all of these structures are being dismantled, and it is pretty much over for them. There is this time that is needed for the readjustment, but that time is almost over, and it will be clearer and clearer that everyone has now entered into a kind of quasi-physical dimension of reality where the manifestations are faster and the manifestations are stranger because they now include a lot of spiritual entities that can be seen. But most of these are good. The light will win.
Okay. So how long this soul trap has been going on?
It's been going on for centuries. It has been established by negative ETs.
Who are these negativities?
We have the Zeta. They are manipulating. They use this energy to create wormholes so that they can travel through space and time. They travel back in time to enter to this time to collect energy and DNA to heal themselves, but their path has led them to negative manifestations and manipulations in order to survive.
Okay. Now you said that she had blocked the contacts with her, severed the contacts with her spirit guides.
Yes, but we really, really would like the contracts to be reestablished with her guides because they are here to help her. They're not wanting to cause any harm or to bog her with a bunch of stuff for her to do. This is just her stuff that she wanted to do, and the guides are there to help her accomplish her mission, not to interfere, and they can help her a lot.
Okay. Now, in order to establish the contact, what she has to do?
All she has to do is agree that all contracts that were made for her highest good be reestablished, and all contracts that do not support her current state of well-being can be allowed to remain severed. Just reestablish the ones that are with her guides.
Okay. So, because the contract was severed, she was not able to connect with her guides?
That's correct.
I thought the guides are always there.
They are always there, but that doesn't mean that you will have a direct connection with the information that the guides are offering if there is a block to it, because all humans have free will and no entity of any order can interfere against the wills of the human souls. So if any contact wants to be established, she must allow there to be a type of contract. The contract is more of a permission, an allowing of communication and influence, because even though all decisions are hers with the free will, she can be influenced to do things by others in spirit.
Okay.
But she can reestablish her connection to the guides so that she can receive information from them.
Okay. So she will have to do that.
Yes. It's very easy. Just allowing it will, agreeing to it, saying it once will allow it to happen.
Okay.
She just has to realize that It's only suggestions. She doesn't have to do anything. She doesn't want to. But she should really reconsider this, because she has a lot of things that she wanted to do on Earth as far as its ascension and her own. And she will need all the help she can get.
Okay, and because she has her third eye cleared, now she will be able to see her guides if she wants to.
Yes, she will in time, because we really don't want to fracture her. Be able to see completely clearly all the spiritual information that is being projected to her. This can go as fast or as slow as she wants, but we suggest a slow pace, just so that she can fully integrate and not go insane.
Okay. This has to be a slow process.
It does not have to, but it is highly recommended that she just take it day by day, meditation by meditation. And the more she can purify her body, the clearer the messages will be.
Okay. She wanted to know about her Kundalini awakening. And she was wondering why it happened.
It was the time to happen. Also, there was a lot of portals being opened at the time. It was the crossing from 2012 to 2013. And there was huge waves of energy that were coming into the planet. And this energy affected her, and she was able to use it to activate and charge all her chakras. And she was able to reach high dimensions of reality. And she went to the light to reestablish her connection with this light, the source of all, and where all the codes of creation are held. The codes have been distorted by all of the meddling with the humans, and they need to be reestablished to their original codes, the perfect codes of light from the Creator.
Okay. Can she have this experience again, or it was just a one time?
Anytime she remembers the experience, she's there. It's just that it doesn't feel the same because her body acclimated fully to the light. She is pretty much walking light. She is aware at all times of the connection she was able to reestablish in a conscious way when she had her Kundalini awakening. Now she has the physical memory of the journey, which she can use to return to that place, to get more information and to relax.
What exactly happens when the Kundalini is awakened?
Everyone has centers of energy, which are portals. And these portals, when they are activated and opened, they are gateways to information and light energy and many, many things. They help with all the manifestations. What you are able to manifest will depend on how active your chakras are and how pure they are. And it depends if you have attachments to your chakras will either close them or muddy them so that the manifestations are muddied as well. So the clearer the chakras, the more energy that is flowing through them will allow the manifestations to be different, but this isn't something that can be forced. It is part of the evolution of the soul, and everyone will have their Kundalini experience when it is time for them to have it.
Okay. So for her, she just had to remember the memory of that.
Yes, she just needs to meditate. And she can create the memory in her third eye, and she will be transported there. But it won't feel the same for her because she's acclimated.
Okay. One question about the chakras. What I hear, chakras can be removed or they are not even needed or something. Do you have any insight on that?
The chakra is a manifestation like any other. Everything is a illusion. So everything can be removed and recreated and erased and then created again, and it is all possible and it does exist, and just depends on the person and what they are manifesting in their life based on where their soul is.
Okay.
How aware is the person will really determine all of this. And the more aware, the less there's even manifestations. They start to mix together and fade and rearrange in front of you in ways that maybe aren't normal to the present human state of mind. But the more awake a person is, the clearer they will feel their chakras. If they have manifested chakras in the first place.
Okay, so it is all the manifestation of a person. Whether to have them in the first place or you don't want to have them.
It just depends on, because you are a creator, you are creating at all moments. And everything you see is a direct creation of the present moment. Even the people that you interact with and how they interact with you. There is a dimension where she's already ascended.
Question about ascension. What do you mean when you say ascendant?
This is the journey towards the physical recollection of going from one energetic frequency to another. We are already there and everywhere, but we come for the journey. We want to have the physical experience of the process of ascending in energy and becoming energy from the physical, the transmutation of the physical body into a light body. The earth that everyone manifests will be unique unto themselves. Ones will fly into space and physically go into a different earth. Others will experience Armageddon type situation in order to erase all of their karma at once. And they feel that this is the only way to pay for all they have done to the earth. to sacrifice themselves in a cataclysm. And others will have in-between experiences of light and dark. It all depends on the personal vibration, because the journey is personal. It is personal.
Yeah.
Everyone will ascend. How they will ascend will be their own unique creation. Some will be aware of how they are creating, but the aware ones usually are aware, and they will create a nice transition for themselves. Most people wouldn't willingly create a negative situation if they are aware that they have the power to create a positive one.
Okay, she had a question if she had a twin flame.
Yes. That is why she's attracted to the idea in the first place. Everyone has a twin flame because everyone has an original split. When every soul is created, we have soul, and then we have oversoul, and the oversoul becomes the soul, and the oversouls can incarnate into many different beings at the same time. So, I mean, it all goes back to the same. But when we refer to twin flames, we mean the original split after the split from God.
Okay, we have different aspects of us in different dimensions.
Mm-hmm.
How different are they from the twin flames?
It's all kind of the same thing, because a piece of your twin flame can exist in multiple people.
Okay.
And these are usually what creates the soul families, and they reincarnate with each other to help the ascension experience happen. But they usually all go all the way up to the original flame.
Okay. So does she have a twin flame now on the earth right now?
Yes.
Is she allowed to meet?
It's being arranged. But she severed the contract. So we again recommend that she reestablish the contracts with the ones that wish the best for her ascension process, which are her guides and her twin, so that we can facilitate the meeting, or it will take forever for them to find each other.
Why did she sever the contracts? Why would she do that?
She heard that by severing the contracts, she could have her true free will, but she will always have her true free will. She just didn't want the influence from the negative stuff, but she is free to decide whatever she decides. We just want to be able to help her find the twin flame, because when they are united, it will be much easier to erase the darkness, and together they will heal the earth and help humanity ascend.
how can she heal her eyes?
She has already begun the process, but it is the requirement of the journey. She will have a little bit of trouble with instant manifestations. But with a little time and the re-establishing of the guides, she will be able to fully clear her vision when she stops wanting it as a tool.
Okay, so she will help herself with her eyesight.
Yes. There is a additional journey that she will take. It will be part of the awakening process again. And she may allow a healer to instantly heal her eyes as a manifestation of spirit in her life.
Okay, but her higher self can definitely do that for her, right?
Yes.
So can you do that for her now?
Her desire is to have an experience, and if I remove this, she will not have the experience that she is looking for.
Okay, so it is coming, it's not her free will, you mean to say?
It would be against her free will for me to remove it because she has created it herself for a purpose. So she will allow it to be removed as part of a symbol when the right person comes.
Okay. All right. She was asking about her spiritual gifts. What gifts she has, or how can she use them, or how can she get them?
She already has access to all the gifts, and they become active as needed. It's not like she can command them at will at the moment. She has access to specific abilities that are triggered by the interaction. They are appropriate. If she wants the control of the abilities, she may misuse them. So we have been helping her to only get access to them when she needs them.
Okay. So what are these gifts? Can you name them? Few?
She has spiritual sight. She can heal with her hands. She can hear. She can feel. She is a very powerful empath and can feel other people's emotion and become those emotions too, and also change those emotions for herself and then transmit them to others.
Wow.
She can suck up the negative emotion and then transmute it into light and then infuse the person with the new light. She does this all the time.
Okay.
She just needs to not allow the emotion to become her. She needs to realize that she's being a vessel for the storing of these emotions and negatives of all types in order for them to be realigned with the light and then reinserted into the person.
Okay, so that is how she can help humanity? Because that was her question, how she can help humanity.
Yeah, we really would would like her to spend more time with people, even though she doesn't particularly enjoy it, because her presence in crowds is like her absorbing all of the negativity in that area and then transmuting it to light and activating DNA that is around her that needs activation. If she stays in her house, she won't be able to really help the people, although she can focus her intention to the whole world at once if she desires during her meditation, if she truly refuses to go outside. We also would like to encourage her to spend more time outside, because that is the best way she can help. Many people will be coming to her, and she really needs to practice keeping a separation between their emotions and her emotions, which should be and could be steady within her, which allows for other emotions of other people to be identified as not her own, and she can do this by just being centered.
Okay. Yeah, I was thinking when she goes out and she takes so much of negative energy from other people, does it affect her? Because you said she is also an empath.
Yes.
So how can she protect her from that? I mean, how can she detach herself from those emotions and not make them of hers?
Fundamentally, she needs to realize that none of this is real.
Okay.
By realizing this truth, she can detach completely from any emotions that are coming to her to be cleared, because it's just part of the story. It doesn't necessarily need to affect her in any negative way, but the emotions that do arise and the ones that she does identify with are giving her a message in itself as to where she is currently allowing leakages and of negativity.
Okay, so that creates leakages for her?
If she is in an experience and feels extreme sadness from the experience, it is most likely because she is somehow attached to the karma that she's being presented either in this life or in past lives, and it triggers a remembrance and a resonance. But all she must do is realize that she isn't really necessarily attached to these emotions. They're not of her current incarnation, and she can just allow this information to be cleared of all negativity and then sent into the light as codes.
Yeah. How can she detach? She is supposed to take the negativity and then transmute it. How can she keep those emotions separate from her own?
She must continue to ascend. She must become fully enlightened, for only the enlightened can fully detach from these emotions. It is just the realization of truth. It's all a fabrication. Only existence is true, and the darkness cannot self-sustain itself on its own, and the light will just completely erase it. As the sun, when it rises, erases all of the darkness.
Okay. Thank you.
She's a volunteer.
Because in today's session we did not have any past life, so I was wondering whether she volunteered.
Yes. There isn't any past lives to really review because she isn't from here. And the lives in Arcturus are not like the lives on Earth. It's a continuous life.
Okay. Okay. So on planet Earth, she did not have any life before?
No.
Okay. So this was her first physical body experience on the planet Earth.
Yes, she came because she answered the call of the planet. And she was very confident that she would be able to detach enough to allow the process to happen naturally with her presence.
Okay. She was asking how can she reach her ascension in time, or if she is on the path.
Yes, and we are all on the same path. We shall all ascend when she ascends, because to her it will seem as everybody has ascended. All that needs to happen is the allowing of whatever needs to happen to happen. Source will direct it if she allows Source to direct it. Complete surrender is the only way towards enlightenment, for there isn't really anything to do, only to allow. Complete acceptance of the current situation. And also it might be important to create beneficial manifestations without any reservations, as long as her heart is in it.
Okay. Well, she was asking after Kundalini awakening experience, she wanted to know what her higher self would want her to do now.
We really would like it if she would reestablish the contracts with the helpers. She has a lot, especially in Arcturus, and she could really use the help. Does she really want to do this by herself? We don't recommend it. We can help her by guiding her and giving her hints and allowing things to happen in a certain way that she understands as synchronicity. And the synchronicity will happen strongly for her, and all she must do is follow the synchronistic path, which is the path of least resistance. And she will reach all the high places that she needs to be in order to truly help humanity. You can only get so far from within the walls.
Okay. Yeah, she wanted to be connecting with her guiding system, higher self and guides and all that, in a very clear way, a very direct or clear way.
Yes, this is something that's going to happen
Now.
Every day from now on. She will have a way to clearly connect just by writing She must write. She really needs to write more. She should get a diary or something and write down. Just start the visualization process and the rest will take care of itself. Everything that comes into manifestation, whether it be by words, by visualization, etc., or even physical manifestation, it is there as a message in itself. One is just to look around and the manifestation of God is there.
Okay. So she has to start writing.
It would really help her if she's continued to write in a more frequent manner and also in a very conscious manner. If she just wrote down or drew what she is seeing, she would have a pretty clear message of the answer. She can also continue to use the crystals and also the cards and all other forms of divination, for that is our way to speak.
To her.
Yes, and to all of humanity, for the readers of the cards and seers of all kind, all the creatives. These are all forms that we try to speak to humanity.
How do I get my messages?
As everyone has a direct connection with their higher self, all they must do is be in a quiet place where they are allowed to have their imagination kind of run wild. As the imagination creates all of these scenes as you are used to, you will get all the messages you need in a very vivid and interactive way. You should also continue to write, for it is a very easy way to get a lot of information in a recorded way from the imagination to the physical dimension. Just establish the connection and you'll be able to ask questions and receive a direct answer to the paper. Write down the answer you are receiving. Continue to trust this answer, and you will be led to everything that you require in order to be successful in all your endeavors.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Some more questions she had. Is her body okay?
Oh yes, she has pretty much healed it all.
Okay.
The rest is a matter of time. But if she continues on this path of detoxification of the body, purification of the foods, even though they really do not affect her as much as she thinks because of her high vibration, the more clean she is, the better it is for all the messages and also for the imparting of the DNA codes to the others.
Okay. Yeah, she was asking. She used to have paralysis when she was small, and she used to see the shadow people. Where are the shadow people?
The shadow people are entities from a different dimension. They feed on fear. So they enjoy the fear they cause just by their presence. Kind of like her presence causes the opposite.
Okay. So, but you said they are from different dimension, but they cannot be higher dimension, right?
No.
They are probably
lower astral.
Lower astral. Okay.
But they try to come occasionally, less frequently now. But it's nothing to worry about. She just needs to focus on the higher vibration and the entity will simply leave.
Okay.
Although they can temporarily try to linger around if the vibration falls into depression, for example.
Okay. She has this different visions, like vortex-like vision. Something is...
This is how we give her new codes.
Okay.
She can see us. She can see the codes being implanted and coming through when she relaxes. This is the same light from her Kundalini awakening. When the Kundalini awakening was established in a conscious way, she gained access to this light of codes, and when she relaxes, she is able to see the codes coming in.
Okay. So that buzzing or body vibration, are they all part of her communication with you?
Yes, they're all part. The buzzing is the acclimation of the physical body to the new frequencies.
Okay. And the vibration?
The body vibration is the acclimation.
Okay. She says that she does not have dreams anymore, or probably she does not have a recollection of dreams anymore. What is it?
At a certain stage in everybody's journey, they stop dreaming. And this is fine. The dreams are to work out problems, probable manifestations, etc. But because she isn't really creating just doesn't have desire to create physical things on earth because she isn't from here. She doesn't really require the dream.
Okay.
Although she will occasionally dream of important things she hasn't been able to work out in the physical.
Okay. And so those orbs she would see when she was small, they were all the other dimensional beings trying to...
Some of them were us.
Okay, that is good to know. So what is the difference if the orbs are those lower astral dimensional beings or you, higher beings?
How does she feel? We'll really be able to tell her if we are of the light or of the darkness. If she has a reaction of fear, it is most likely being caused by negative frequencies entering her astral fields. If she is intrigued or impressed, curious, these are us. They are the light.
Okay.
She must go where she is feeling interest and not go where she is feeling the fear.
Okay. Since we're talking about orbs, she experienced something that there was this big orb coming in from the ocean to her grandmother's kitchen, and she thought that she would go see it, encounter it herself, but she was not able to. She just stopped and did not really go there to the kitchen and experience it herself. Why was she stopped from doing that?
And these are the ETs. they want to collect DNA, and we suggested she did not go in because they were wanting to abduct her.
So there were attempts of her abduction?
Yes, but they only got as close as the kitchen.
Okay, so if she's not getting dreams, it's fine because she does not have anything to manifest through dreams. She might sometimes see, if at all, but it's not anything that she should be worried about.
No, because she is woken up in the physical, so the dreams aren't really useful for her. She can, if she would like, to travel in the sleeping, and she just needs to create a strong intention for this.
Yeah, she was asking about the astral projection. She was not able to do it. Is there any particular reason for that?
It's just the lack of focus. She doesn't really want to focus the energies into creations or thought forms, but she just needs to write down the ones that she does want to experience in the highest possible light and create for herself the programs that will allow for the manifested experience of the astral projection. She needs to remember that she's in all places at all times, and her consciousness will travel where her thoughts are going. She just needs to direct it into the astral form that she will create, and then she will be able to awaken within these alternative dimensions and experience things there as well.
Okay. But I hear that Earth did not have any its own people. They were all brought. All the beings on the Earth were brought from different planets or different places. Is that true?
The beings are brought forth through the planets, but this is a confusion of reality. It's hard to really explain that everything actually exists in the same spot. So to say that souls were brought to a planet, or even that volunteers have come from another star system or planet, these are all for the illusion of the journey. It's all true and it is all not true at the same time. It just depends what you want to see. You have complete free will. You can create the most beautiful scenes of ascension or the most traumatic scenes of descension. It just depends on what these free souls want to create. Full power to all.
So there is a way of descension also? I mean, can we
Since it all happens at the same time, the complete descension and the complete ascension is already there in multiple ways, and it is only the focus that makes any one of these realities real at any given time.
Okay.
There is only one being.
Okay. Can you scan her chakras?
Yes. We are activating all the chakras to their pure state. she will find it much easier now to concentrate, to visualize and see the information that will be projected to her.
Are there any other question? Are there any questions which she had in her mind, but they did not come through, and you would like her to know about that?
We just want to remind her that she is a creator of infinite power, and that she can create whatever she wants.
Okay.
The best thing to do, though, is to surrender to the source, where her life will be as source would like for her greatest good.
Okay. Now, when she establishes her contract with her guides or with her helpers, she will be able to see them.
Yes, she will be able to see them more and more in her meditative practice. And when she sees them, she will be able to ask them specific questions, and she will be able to see them answering her as if they are there in the physical.
Okay.
This is an ability that is not very common, but we are preparing her to be able to do this. And she will be able to establish contracts in the present moment with those that are manifesting in front of her in that moment.
Okay. Okay, so the spirit guides keep changing, right?
Yes, because they keep wanting more and more to help, so more are attracted to help in the leading, but her main helpers are from Arcturus.
Do you have any message for me?
Yes. We would really like you to know that we're very pleased with you and everything you're doing for humanity. We know that your heart is in the right place, and you will help many, and we will bring them to you. So please continue as you are. Continue to use the crystals, for they really help in your connection with Arcturus. And if you hold the crystals in a meditative position, you will be able to make a direct contact with Arcturus, and eventually you'll be able to hear them speak to you through the crystal. You need to create relationships with the crystals that are coming into your life, because they will establish portals between you and your soul family, and you'll be able to walk more clearly on your path.
Okay, thank you. Is there any particular crystal?
Clear quartz would really be helpful, since it will increase all of the powers of your chakras, and all the other crystals you're working with will also be enhanced in their power, and it will be the crystal that will help you connect with your family.
Thank you. Do you have any suggestion on how to activate crystals?
Yes, you must use your love. Hold the crystal to your heart chakra and establish a connection through visualization with the crystal, and then bring the crystal's energy into your heart and allow this energy to then be pumped through your entire system. This will establish a clear connection with you and the crystal, and the crystal will recognize you. And you'll be able to imprint any thoughts into the crystal, and you will also use it to communicate with higher dimensions.
Thank you. Do you have any final message?
The message is a universal message. To be focused in the love, for you can't go wrong with love. If you are following your heart, you will be guided to all the things that are for you, that are of your most and highest good and excitement. Follow your higher vibrations of excitement and joy and love, and you can't go wrong.
Okay, thank you for the message.